Edie, Courtney, love those two people.
Me too.
She's one of the most underrated, not in my book, but a lot of people need to, if you're not a Courtney Patton fan, need to jump on the bandwagon because that woman, first of all, she's hilarious.
Yes.
Big personality. I've always told her, if you ever quit this music thing, come be on the radio because I do think she could have her own radio.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. But she's a phenomenal vocalist and a great writer as well. Love me some Courtney Patton.
Yeah, me too.
What do you got? I mean, as far as working right now, you're out on the road playing River Road Ice House tonight, always writing. Every time you come in here, I'm like, all right, what holds you got? You got any big holds? Because you're writing, and a lot of people have recorded your music, and we've talked about this over the years, but just the process now, because I have noticed that a lot of people are calling to write with Adam Hood now.
Yeah.
That's happening, and that's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
And it's always been happening, but when you get more people that want to write with you, it just brings them under the tent as well.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things now to where like I feel like I've not necessarily proved myself past.
You
this.
have.
Well, thank you, but at the same time, it's good to. I'm glad that people realize that that they can write with me and we don't have to write Adam Hood songs. You know what I mean? Like I mean, as far as like the cuts go, I feel like they're kind of across the board, and I'm really thankful for that because it's how I've always absorbed music. It's how I've always written music for myself. I never, John Hyatt's records, they had bluesy songs and then they had country songs and then they had like jazz songs and stuff like that. So I approached my writing and my recording the same way Hyatt did. Now, granted, I'm not as good at it, but nonetheless, and also, in that process, I found a style that is mine, and so I try to, stay focused on that. But as a writer, I've listened to a lot of stuff, and I've learned how to write a lot of different styles, and so I want to be able to sort of lend myself to that, And I'm glad to hear you say that. It feels like it's, figuratively speaking, paying off. Now, literally speaking, we still have a mortgage. It's still the same house. Like we ain't bought a mansion or nothing like that yet.
What would be the weirdest artist? Not weirdest. That might surprise me. That's recording one of your songs right now.
Most unlikely, huh?
Most unlikely.
Oh man, that's a good question.
Or is about to.
I got a song that Jinx and I recorded that'll be on his new record, Cody Jinx.
See, that didn't surprise me, though.
Yeah,
I mean, well, I guess it's a good thing then. I mean, if you said Luke Bryan's about to record one of my, that might, but Luke Bryan's picked up. I mean, you say what you want to about that guy, but he's recorded some great Stapleton songs over the years.
Songs, and that's like Aldean and those guys did the same thing. They kind of always got a bad rap for the songs that they recorded, but then. And at the same time, they would go record, Ashley Monroe songs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So there's somebody has some taste in there. Tim McGraw was the same way. Just those guys. They a lot of judgment fell on them to be guys that had obviously had great taste in picking songs.
I always say those guys are doing well for themselves. You can judge their music, but when it comes to when you walk into an arena, it's completely full. I'm judging it by that. I mean, Florida Georgia Line used to get a bad rap, and they still do on some levels, and maybe they deserved it. But would I play drums when it's for a band that has a sold-out show in every arena around the country every other day? I don't know. Everybody loves a different flavor of ice cream out there.
Exactly.
There's enough to go around.
But truth be told, you know as well as I do, if you were Stevie Wonder's drummer and you played to a click track, 4 nights a week for 6 months, you get sick of it after a while.
Probably.
You know what I mean? For about a month, you'd be like, man, I'm Stevie Wonder's drummer. And then it's like, oh, man. This one again.
you mentioned it.
Say I love you again.
Yeah, you're right. It's just like going to any other job.
Exactly. There's parts of this that are work, and then there's parts of this that are fun.
River Road Ice House tonight. In case you're just tuning in, you mentioned, I didn't realize that the last time you played River Road Ice House with Edie.
Yeah.
And Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
Before he turned into the. I think everybody
Chris Stapleton.
Everybody in Nashville knew about Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
But everybody outside of that, I remember when it was with the Steel Drivers, and 50 people would show up at Antone's to watch one of those bluegrass shows. He was still hustling and had all those number one hits in Nashville. But as you and Edie and Chris Stapleton at River Road Ice House, I want to say the following Wednesday maybe was that
yes
CMA show with Justin Timberlake.
Because what happened was, there was a storm that came through, and so the lineup was initially Chris and then Jason and I, which was Southern Brothers then, and then Mayo and Broussard and the Reed Brothers, and so the two guys, they got their sets got cut, and then our set got cut in half basically because like the storm didn't go away until like an hour before Chris was supposed to go on, so they gave us 30 minutes, which was very nice of them, and then Chris played. And he got Jason up to sing "Whiskey and You" and stuff like that, so which was pretty cool, you know. And so, but at the same time, that's what we were just talking about. You know, he told Jason, he said, "Man, we're gonna get out of here tonight. I've got to go back. I got an award show I've got to do. I don't know why they want me to go participate in this award show." And it was the one where Justin Timberlake, that whole thing. You know what I mean? It was the whole. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
When he changed country music a little bit?
I mean, 100%. When guys like me got hope again, you know?
Exactly. You've written with Stapleton before?
I have, yeah. I wrote Front Porch Thing with him, which was a little Big Town.
Was still my favorite song that
Thank
you have.
You.
I mean, you have plenty of them.
Third song in every set.
Yeah, I still love that song. It was one of the first ones that you performed here in the studio, and I'm not going to ask you to play it today.
Sure?
What's it like to write with the Stapleton?
You know, it's funny because I still have the work tape that he sang. And so, like, you know, this is nerdy stuff, but, like, I recorded the song in E. He sings it in G. So he's, like, 2.5 steps higher than me. And, like, that's the register he sings in. And so, and he played it on a tenor guitar. And so it's got this, it's a real cool kind of feel to it. But for some strange reason, I think I was so nervous that I don't remember any of the conversation that Chris and I had. And I thought to myself for so many years, I was like, well, I guess that didn't go very well. And then I started listening to the work tape a couple of years ago, and there's all this conversation that he and I are having, like, before he starts playing the song.
And he's not a big talker either.
No, exactly, yeah. And so obviously it went way better than I thought it was going to. What I thought it did.
I always love to tell the story. We played Stapleton earlier, but we were playing a lot of Steel Drivers.
Yeah.
And he reached out to me. And said, through, I want to say Twitter or maybe Instagram, and it wasn't to me, it was to the Coke FM account. I've heard you play a lot of my music. I would love to come visit you in studio.
Wow.
A week later, you were on the Saturday. A week later was the the CMA show.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't do it after that. I still have it. I still show it. Look.
He said he was going to come.
For one day, Stapleton was going to come hang out. Hanging out with our good buddy Adam Hood, guitar in hand, playing River Road Ice House tonight. Play us another song, man. I'd love to hear you do something.
Yeah, you got it. I'll do Bad Days Better. I woke up this morning seeing things a little differently. Well, last night I made my mind up and that's how it's gonna be. Well, I opened up my eyes to these words swimming in my mind, tapping my toes and humming this melody. I'm a man on a mission, I'm the only one I can change. 'Cause this mean old world is always gonna stay the same. But even in the bad times, the sun's gonna shine on me. So I'm gonna make the bad days better than the good days used to be. Well, I spent 40 long years being way too hard on myself. Lord, it was rough on my mind and even worse on my health. Yeah, but dragging that weight around nearly pulled me down. So now I'm gonna lay down my cards and play the hand I'm dealt. And that's the best that I've ever felt. 'Cause I'm a man on a mission, I'm the only one I can change. 'Cause this mean old world is always gonna stay the same. But even in the bad times, the sun's gonna shine on me. So I'm gonna make the bad days better than the good days used to be. All right. a man on a mission, I'm the only one I can change. 'Cause this mean old world is always gonna stay the same. But even in the bad times, the sun's gonna shine on me. So I'm gonna make the bad days better than the good days used to be. Lord, I'll make the bad days better than the good days used to be. Yes! Eric Rains on percussion.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Hood. That's a good song.
Thank you, buddy.
And you got the poster right there. Bad Days Better.
I brought that for you. I'm going to sign it.